Hello, guys. Welcome to the first ever episode of Actually Giving a Shit, and I'm here with Mike.
Oh shit.
And just a disclaimer: this is all just based on my opinion, and I'm not like a psychiatrist or a doctor or anything. So, just a disclaimer for that. Okay, so recently, this is my friend Mike. I've known him for like years, by the way. Just start off, and
What's up?
I recently told him about thinking negatively and the Stoic type philosophy, and I just wanted you to share what your experience is with it since you actually tried it out.
Well, I think before I share my experience with it, I think just for the viewers out there who don't know, maybe they're not too familiar with this sort of philosophy, kind of fill them in a little bit.
Okay, well, basically, what the Stoic type philosophy that I practice is basically where you think negatively, where you think about the worst case scenarios all the time, and you prepare mentally for these types of things. And for example, like if I'm at work or something and I have to deal with someone that's like an asshole or something, then I will like think about like, yeah, this person's going to be an asshole, or the next person is, or the next person is, and I think about that, and I think about like logically how I will feel, and then I think about why I will feel that way. So like the reason I would feel like if someone was an asshole to me, I'd feel negative about it is because I feel like it's a personal attack on me or something, and stuff like that. And the whole idea is like when it rains outside, you don't just freak out and get angry and stuff. You learn to accept
Right.
it. You know what I mean? Like you
Right.
learn to accept that. And with this type of ways, it's looking at that like everything. You come to accept that life has negative things that happen, and you just accept it and you keep going. And I guess that's a pretty brief explanation of it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like in a nutshell, pretty much. So speaking of just kind of accepting things, like you're saying, dealing with like just bad people, right? Or just a bad situation. Something recently that happened to me, I'm going to share with you here. Because you kind of brought this whole stoicism thing onto me about a couple weeks ago, because I was kind of reading into positivity, right? A
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
people like out there, they're always told, oh man, you gotta be more positive.
That's
That's
the
the
funny thing,
that's
actually. Like the
Mhm.
mainstream is always like telling everyone to be. That's the thing that's been going on since like the
Yeah.
'90s, even before that. Is this all this like positive reinforcement? Like, oh, they think that
Mhm.
positivity brings upon good self-esteem, when in reality it brings upon narcissism and egotistical and selfishness, and it doesn't actually help self-esteem really much at all. Surprisingly enough. So that's kind of something that has been developed through our generation, especially as the millennial myself. And as you being a millennial, that's something that has been really brought on. Each generation seems to get more and more narcissistic and stuff as this positive reinforcement. But go on.
Yeah, right. Didn't actually try it out. Stoicism at first, but after a little while, I actually had a situation recently where I think I told you about this. My bank card was hacked into,
Yeah.
which sucks. That really sucks. You don't want that to happen to anybody. So that kind of happened, and the thing that kind of sucked about that the most was um, my gym membership that I was paying for at the time. The place was giving me a really hard time, even though I renewed my card at the exact time for my payment. They still counted it as a late fee, and they ended up charging me over $40 at one point. Like I had to also pay a fee just to cancel with them because all that was going on.
Yeah.
And normally, because I'm in here I am, I'm arguing with them in here, right, about this whole thing. And normally I would just be going off on people about things like that. Because I mean, like, yeah, dude, can I say that's bullshit? Can I say that?
That's yeah.
I mean, you say fuck on your channel all the time. I'm just gonna say that's bullshit. It is. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, normally I would just really go off on people, but when I was thinking about it this way, when I walked in there, I kind of had a feeling of like, this already happened. They already took the money out. I'm just going in here to cancel this if they give me a hard hard time. They give me a hard time. I didn't make a scene. I didn't want to. I was mad, but I didn't scream at them. I didn't waste my energy on them. I think that's the most important part about that. There was no energy whatsoever wasted on that. And I just, it's almost as if I cared, but I didn't really care to waste my energy, you know?
It was almost just like you were dealing with some daily occurrence, like if you're in math class.
I got hold of.
It's like if you're in school and you're in math class or something and you're just filling out your homework.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you don't really want to do it, but it's not really a big deal either. It's not like, oh, it's homework! And, you know, it's kind of just like, okay, this is just a part of life. It's probably a good...
Let me just, you know, truthfully, Eric, I don't know if you even want to keep this in or anything, but, before we came on here for the show, I took a little while to set up before we got on here, and it's because something came up. Something kind of just unexpected out of the blue. It wasn't like, he's not like a good friend of mine or anything, but like, just know him through like my sister. This guy I know who's been over here, hung out with him before, and just out of the blue decides to overdose. I swear to God. Right before we were going on to talk about what we were going to decide what topic to talk about today, like minutes after that, before I came on here, I hear about this. And she was like heading out, trying to talk to her friends, getting everything there. And it's like, it's weird because years ago, right? This isn't the first time I've known someone that's killed themselves or anything, but I've known friends who have. Years ago, I let these things like really just affect me.
Yeah.
A lot, right? But as you say, it's kind of. It's part of life in a way, in the sense that like there were apparently things already going on with this kid, and look, it's not that I'm not like, oh my God, that's crazy, right? It is crazy, but like I'm not letting it get to me in the sense that like I'm doing the show with you right now, right? We're here, I'm talking. We're still doing this. I'm not letting my emotions get to me. It's the way of thinking that I'm in now. It's like it happens.
It's something that, you know, it's not.
And there's nothing I can do about it. That's kind of how it is.
It's nothing. It's not like you caused that.
Right.
To happen.
It's completely.
Yeah. And
no, absolutely not. Well, you know, you say you want to keep these things real, and like, you know, I've known you for years, so
absolutely. That's the whole point of actually giving a shit.
Actually giving a shit. Yes, that is the name. That's the name of the show.
Yeah. So
definitely, dude.
No, but that's pretty. Yeah, like, you know, like with things like that, you know. Like, you don't necessarily have control over it, and the fact that, like, stuff's going on with that person that you have no idea even. Like, there's stuff probably going on in that person's head that you have no even, like, idea. Like, you can't control people's thoughts.
You could have been planning that.
People's actions.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course not.
So, like...
Of course not.
You know, what are you supposed to do? And especially now that it's done, what can you do now?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Nothing.
Exactly. You know, you can't really do anything about it.
It's over.
The best thing you can do is just think about it and think about why you feel the way you do, and, you know, think about, like, what you can practically do, like, what you can actually do that's in your control, right?
Right.
And,
right.
You know, you seem relatively calm right now. You seem relatively all right. And so, there you go. There's proof right there. How do you feel?
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm shocked, right? Of course.
Well, yeah.
But, like, normally, I just let stuff like this get to me so much, but no, I don't know how long he was planning that for. I don't know what his reasons were, and, you know, like I said, I don't know him that well. I've known him through my sister, and I've seen him, hung out with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not even just that. It's just that's out of my control. That's not something that concerned me. You know?
It's interesting you brought that up because not too long ago, like my grandma died, and
Yeah.
I remember when I was like going to the funeral or whatever, for the visitation and stuff. I remember they were like telling me like, "Oh, do you want to go see your grandma or whatever?" But it
Right.
was weird because like it was like I'm not going to see my grandma. Like it's just a body, right? That's like how I felt. I'm like that's not really my grandma. That's just a
That's
body.
all it is.
Yeah,
At that, you
it
can't
was
talk to
like
her or anything.
it was like just
Yeah.
looking at a body. It was just like that's not my grandma. You know what I mean? And it was
Mhm.
really sad, but like at the same time, I thought like I can't do anything about this like at all. There's nothing I can do. I can't bring back the dead. You know what I mean?
Of course
And
not.
you know, the best thing I could do, practically what I thought is I took all the memories and everything, and all the
Mhm.
lessons and all the things I learned from my grandma, and I just said that what that has affected my life and it has improved my life, and I'm grateful for that. And the reason I'm sad is because there was a loss, and that's what I thought logically, and
Of course.
I just kind of thought, yeah. The thing is that I think people misconception what we're saying is they think that it's like emotionless. It's not emotionless. It's just dealing with it practically and in a better way. It's dealing with it instead of just losing it. It's actually the best way to put it is it's in control. It's being in control. Because people that aren't in
Yeah,
control let their
it's
emotions
weird.
wander.
Mhm. It's weird that you say that because when people look at stoicism, they normally look at it as like, oh, it's this negative thing. It's a completely negative way of thinking.
Yeah,
But as you say, it's really what it all boils down to is controlling your emotions at the right time, knowing when to handle a situation. That's what it is. Knowing how to handle a situation. I
exactly.
think if it's very weird because if you or me, right, you or I, ever put in a life threatening situation, maybe with this way of thinking over time, we'll figure out a different way to handle that situation compared to how we used to think. We might not know how to.
It's actually weird you
Um,
say that because experience I had. I know I talked to you about this before. I'm pretty sure. Like I told you about when I got like the SWAT team called on me.
oh, dude, that was fucking crazy.
Yeah. Okay. I never talked about this on
Once
YouTube,
again,
so
I apologize for swearing.
I'm just gonna do a
Once again, I
brief story of
apologize for
what
swearing.
happened because I never talked about
Yeah,
this on YouTube before. But
yeah, yeah.
what ended up happening, to brief anyway, is basically a crazy woman basically called the cops on me and said that I had like a weapon on me and all this crap. And um, I remember during the situation when she was like yelling at me, calling me like all these names and stuff. I remember in my
Mhm.
mind, I was thinking at the time, I'm like, this woman's just nuts. So it didn't phase me. I didn't take it personally because I'm like, this woman's just nuts, you
Right.
know. And I just kind of was just like, oh, do I really have to deal with this? That's what I was thinking in my head. I'm just like, oh, I'm
You
gonna have to
said,
just deal with
I
this,
remember when you told me this, when you told me the story, you were saying that the way she was looking at you, though, was like she had like that murderous intent in her eyes.
Oh yeah, yeah, crazy eyes. I always call it. It's like the type of look that like crazy people have.
Yeah, and you just the way you dealt with the situation, just like most people would probably panic
I
from
didn't
that.
panic. I
Is what
was
I'm
just
saying.
completely calm because I knew I didn't do anything wrong, right?
Right,
So I was just kind
right.
of like, I just kind of just dealt with it, and I just was very calm, and I just like dealt with the situation very well. And in the end, like the cops interviewed me and stuff and everything, and I didn't do anything wrong, and I just went home after. And yeah, at the time, I was kind of just like, I felt like it was a bother. I'm like, oh, this is kind of wasting
Yeah,
my time, but
yeah.
I felt like there's nothing I can do about it, and I just want to get it through this. So I kind of just was
Of
really
course.
calm at. I don't know. It's interesting actually because when someone's put into like a life death situation or like a really stressful thing, it's weird because there's like a response that your body does that you just calm down. Because I remember
Hmm.
like in high school, my one friend Dylan or whatever, he actually got his like fingers sliced, in woodshop
Holy
class.
shit.
Yeah, he like got his finger
Oh,
sliced, and
wow.
he went up to the teacher and he's like, I think I'm hurt. He was just really calm about it, and like it was really weird because it's like when you go in like shock like that, you almost just
Mhm.
you just completely mellow out, and you're just like, because I feel like calmness lets you deal with situations very well. It's in control, and it's almost like an automatic response. And what stoicism does, I think, is it puts that within everything, so you can just be, and think more logically. Because when you're stressed out, you can't think clearly, and when you're
Right.
calmed down, you can think more clearly, and you can deal with situations better as well. So that's another part of it. It's not just being able to not feel as angry and stuff about things, but it's also being able to deal with it better too.
It's funny you mentioned woodshop class because I actually, like I was gonna say before we cut out again,
Yeah.
I was gonna say that earlier on, the years ago, right? Now this is before I was thinking this a different way before you were talking to me about this. Set a machine on fire. It was an accident. I didn't do it on purpose. It was in woodshop class. This thing just gulfs into flames. I don't know what I did wrong, and I freaked the hell out, dude. I didn't know what to do. I panicked. You know, um, I was not calm at all. So I don't. You just brought up woodshop, and I'm like, wow, yeah. Maybe I'd be able to handle that situation a lot better now, but back then, I just panicked so much, and honestly, um, the woodshop teacher didn't even notice. So I just want to bring that up. He didn't notice at all. This thing was engulfed in flames. I'm panicking.
Can you can you ever think of a moment in your life where panicking has helped you in any way?
Exactly. And that's the funny thing. It's like I panicked for no reason because I ended up fixing the machine, right?
Yeah.
It ended up working again somehow. Um, I don't know how, but um, honestly, it's funny because you look at that situation and nothing came out of that. Nothing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, yeah, I could look at tons of times where I panicked and nothing came out of it. Like getting trapped in an elevator. I panicked. This was years ago. You know, little things like that. But it did nothing because all I had to do was just press the button and talk to the people, and they were gonna get me out. But I was
How
like,
many times in your life have you felt like your life's over? Like something bad happens and you're like, "Oh, my life's never going to be the same." How many times has that happened?
every time that like I'm panicking like that, it's like it does nothing but waste my energy and make me feel anxious. That's all it does.
But like,
I misheard your question because you
okay.
were all when you were talking about.
Well, what I said is how
So
many
yes,
times
repeat yourself. Repeat
how
yourself.
many times in your life um have you like thought that your life was never going to be the same, like something negative happened and you thought that your life was over, like after a relationship or something like that. How many times does that happen when you thought like your life was going to be over, and then like a little bit later
I was just about to say,
you're like completely fine,
yeah, yeah.
because things always get better in the end, but you think
Ah,
at that moment, oh, it's
that's so funny, dude. Like you know me, you just know me because as you were saying that right before you said the relationship thing, I'm like, oh well, in relationships,
yep.
there were times where I was just like, it's over, it's all over.
That's how I get too. Like you feel like you're never gonna find anyone. Like you're never
Oh
gonna
yeah.
feel like that again. All this crap, and then
Oh yeah, yeah. That goes through your head. Then you start remembering all the other times. And you're like, I'm never gonna be that happy again.
yeah,
Like nah, dude, chill the fuck out. Like,
yeah. You just
um,
you gotta think of it like especially with like relationships. You gotta think like you can't control when relationships end, and you gotta think about it logically. Is it a good relationship? Is it working out for you? Why are you in it? And
yeah.
then you just gotta realize that it will get better. Have you? Because I know I've been practicing this for quite a while now, and I've noticed that. Um, do you deal with a holes in your life, Mike?
I am an a hole.
Do you deal with them?
Do I deal with them? Oh yeah, obviously, yeah.
And do you feel like I used to get pissed over like
All the
everybody.
time. I mean,
Like someone would drive their car
oh
and like do something really dumb and it would piss me off. And now it's just like I just accept that. I just accept that now.
yeah, dude. I used to get mad at like like those douchebags who would just like park and like I know this is kind of off topic, but
Yep.
I used to get really pissed off at like those like douchebags who have like nice cars who will just park in 3 spots sideways.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, why are you doing?
They're probably doing it because they don't want their car to get scratched. Because it's expensive.
No, they're doing it because they're a douchebag
Yeah.
driving a douchey car. But I used to get like really mad about that, but like now I'm just like, well, I mean, let them be a douchebag. Whatever they are, I don't care. They're not affecting my life. We cut out again, didn't we?
A little bit, but I think
No?
I got what you were saying there. But
Okay.
I noticed that like sometimes I'll know someone's an asshole or like I'll know someone's very like selfish or something, and I'm just like I just accept it. I'm like, yeah, they're a selfish person. I say that all the time to myself, like, yeah, they're a selfish person, but like I can't control that, and I really don't have to talk to them anymore or whatever. I really don't really care, you know. And you know what? They're unhappy, and I'm more happier than they are because when you're like an asshole and you're angry all the time, that's not a very positive emotion. Anger. When you're just pissed off all the time, because I've been like that. I've been just pissed off all the time, and it sucks, you know?
Being in a bad work environment could easily get you like that.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know why they're like that or what. And in people that are like were spoiled their whole lives growing up,
Right.
they're never satisfied. That's the thing about like people that are spoiled. Like they never have enough. Like especially like
course not.
children. Like a spoiled child, they always want more and more and more. Their parents will give them more and more, and they just want more and more and more. They're never satisfied. They never quench that thirst.
And of course, on the inside, you just want to smack them in the face, but like.
But they're miserable. They're miserable people.
You think about that for a second. You're like, well, they're not happy at all, and I'm here just not giving a shit. I'm
Your
happy.
happiness, and this is a little bit off topic, but your
Sure.
happiness is a really moral thing. Like, you being selfish and trying to make yourself happy is one of the best things to do because once you're happy, you make people around you happy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just the energy of it kind of bounces off around people. I know we're
Absolutely.
all
When you have like a
off
positive
topic.
person in the room, it changes everything. The
It does,
complete
definitely.
dynamic. Because like, a thing that I've noticed in life is that assholery is very contagious. When someone's
like
an
that
asshole,
word.
yeah. When someone's an asshole to
Hold
you,
on. That's
when
one
someone's an asshole to you or someone else or something, or somebody or whatever, it spreads. Like if you have someone that cuts you off in traffic, you get pissed off, and then you become an asshole to someone else, and then they become an asshole, and it goes on and on. And
just a chain of assholes.
with this philosophy, you take that and you say, yeah, that person's an asshole, but I'm not going to let that affect me because that's stupid, you know?
Of course.
And what I've noticed is that if you are positive back to a lot of people, it actually changes their mood completely. Sometimes someone will be an asshole, and then if you're nice back to them, they all of a sudden they're like, oh shoot, I'm sorry. And they're like nice all of a sudden. That happens a lot too.
Nice.
Not all the time, but it does happen.
I'm sorry, these words.
What?
I'm following what you're saying. Like assholery, nice hole. This is great. Someone on. Do you have a Tumblr? I don't know. If he has a Tumblr,
This will be in
guys,
the new Webster's Dictionary update.
make a little
This is the new updated English.
thing. Yeah, this is what we got here. Asshole. Be a nice.
Be a nice little.
Yes, listen.